Guys, Janet here from the 4-H office. Today we are going to make a homemade electroscope which scientists create to check the charge of different materials. So we are actually going to use stuff that we have at home. We need for today's experiment a clear plastic cup. We need some masking tape, a pair of scissors, aluminum foil, some push pins, and a balloon that's been blown up. You can also have on hand a piece of wool, a cotton t-shirt, and dry hair for this type of experiment. So to get started, what we're going to do is take our push pin and we are going to put a hole in the center of our cup at the bottom. We want a nice, good sized hole. We're also going to need a jumbo paper clip. Forgot to mention that. So, jumbo paper clip. In addition to putting a hole in our cup, we're going to put a hole in our foil. You want 2 foil strips, which are about 1/4 wide and about 1.5 inches long. So if you have a ruler, if you're not good at eyeballing it, get your ruler out, do some measurements for this STEM activity. We're going to put a small hole with our push pin at the end of each piece of foil. Very carefully, try not to poke yourself. Once we do that, we are going to smooth out our foil, making sure it's nice and straight, both pieces. Now, you may have a piece of foil left over from creating your strips. Perfect! We need this for a foil ball, so we're just going to kind of wrinkle this up, make a little bit of a foil ball for the top of our electroscope. Our next step is to take our jumbo paper clip, unbend one end of it, so that it is fairly straight. Our next step is to leave the J hook in the bottom and actually hook our foil on to our paper clip. We want it to hang loose, but we don't want them to touch. So if you need to bend out your J a little bit to give it a little bit more room, go ahead and do so. All right, we're just going to get this other one threaded on, making sure we've got a little bit of space and that they're not touching each other too badly. Make sure they're nice and straight. Then, once you have them hanging, mine seem to keep wanting to touch. Make just a little bit bigger J. There we go. Let's try this again. Perfect. So once we have them hanging, we're going to insert our paper clip through the cup and putting the straight end through the hole. So once you have your paper clip threaded through your cup, you're just going to pull it up so that the pieces are hanging freely, and check it to make sure that they're not touching. Mine are actually a little too long, so I'm just going to snip the ends off. Should have used my ruler. Okay. They should be hanging freely, nice and straight. Balance that. Grab some of your masking tape. There we go. Now, adding the foil topper. We're just going to make a little ball, put it on, around it. You can make it a little bit bigger. What the heck, we'll just make it quite a bit bigger. All right, so we have our electroscope. So now we have to charge our electroscope to see if we can get something to happen. And what do you think is going to happen? If I take my balloon and I start rubbing it on my shirt, charging it all up, I have some static electricity. So when I touch my foil, I actually move it. If you're watching, I can rotate my foil ball because of the electricity. We're actually charging our foil and moving without touching the top of our electroscope. Now, charge it again. This is a great experiment for at home. Try charging it with different fabrics, different materials. Have your wool, have your hair, rub it on the dog, see what happens. See if you can get it to move. I don't know if you guys can hear this at home, but when I put my freshly charged balloon near my electroscope, I can actually hear the transfer of the electricity, of the energy. It's making a little bit of a crackling sound. So let's get this charged up again. It's pretty cool. I can move my electroscope. So when you get your electroscope moving, you should also see your two pieces of foil. Mine went from hanging parallel to each other that when I put the electricity near them, they actually spread apart. The energy, the electrons actually pushed my pieces apart. So let's try it one more time. You can actually see your foil moving, spinning the whole thing, pushing my pieces of foil apart. So, if you want to make a fun science experiment to practice with static electricity, all you need is an inflated balloon, you need a plastic cup, paper clip, some aluminum foil, and masking tape. For this experiment and more great experiments, join Shenango County 4-H on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, both under Shenango County 4-H. Have a great day.